top of the $2.2 billion that the feds have already committed to indigenous rights and reconciliation, there is a lot of indigenous negotiation that's happening because, a lot of communities still have not been happy with the government support. And basically, there is more funds that's being given in the area of there's $685 million for Indigenous Community Support Fund, which includes funding to address food insecurity, education, and support for children. It's spending another $650 million to help Indigenous communities respond to the pandemic and income support, and it has devoted $122 million to ensure a safe return to schools. So again, there's a lot of work that's going on there, and then there is a lot of other discussions that's happening on fisheries, and a lot of fishery reserves and fish farmers are sort of not knowing in terms of where they're going, and they're basically sort of looking at getting negotiation to become more economically viable. So it's good to kind of look at that and look at that news aside from the other news that is there. And obviously, there is also an interesting news of Toronto City Council supporting food delivery agents, and they're actually doing all to get more food delivery agents collaborate with restaurants, because a lot of restaurants have been going through losses in terms of their revenue, and there are a lot of like these food delivery kits and agents that have come up, but they are basically trying to say that we would not we would allow sort of these companies to come in, but they need to sort of revive an industry that was making losses. And honestly, if you actually look at government programs, most of the government programs today are there to sort of create that sort of equity, right, and get equal allocation of resources amongst different set of people. And if there are equal allocation of resources that happens, it kind of creates a lot of and it creates a good working environment. And I think any relationship to flourish, it has to be built on a more healthy foundation. And honestly, it is very fundamental that one is we look at the words diversity and inclusion, but it all begins on a very fundamental level of becoming committed to building relationships, and those relationships are built by smart conversations that one can have. And the more conversation that a person has in terms of building those relationships, the better those relationships